Hi guys, we here, Blueberry Hill. So I appreciate you coming back to the channel. So this is September 13th. I'm continuing the plumbing. I started doing the rest of the rough in. I did the underneath part up to the master bedroom ish, and now I'm going to continue doing the rest of the drainage because I have to do that to connect to the main line. So here I am doing the. This isn't the master. This is the actual shower. Making the hole for the shower. Most of them were pretty straightforward to do. I didn't hit too many issues, meaning none of the structures underneath or rebar. The structure underneath, I try to miss all of the cross pieces on the containers. They're still cuttable, so if I trim a little bit of it, I'm not too worried. But rebar is a pain in the butt to actually trim. I'm not sure why that steel is so hard, but it's hard to cut. Normally when you cut rebar, you snap it. You don't actually cut it. I mean, you can cut it with a grinder, but when you use a Sawzall and stuff, it takes forever. Anyway, here I'm doing the just a regular old drainage, typical shower kind of drain. Just made it big enough so I can get it down there. Went underneath, cut the hole out, etc., and glued that thing in. Here you see me starting to put this is for a standing tub, and it's roughly, I think, 67 inches long, etc., and the drain's right in the middle of the bathtub, so I'm making the hole for that. That's the initial hole. I'm just gonna rough this one in, and I forgot to order the actual fitting. You see the Sawzall making smoke right there. That's pretty cool. The 1-inch plywood that's underneath there is pretty solid. Here you see me redoing the toilet flange. Guess what I did? I didn't realize that the 3-inch PVC goes on the outside of that the drain. I thought it went on the inside, so I made it pretty tight. I pulled it out, undid the screws, and now I'm making the hole bigger, and I'm going to glue it in and of course resecure it to the floor. It wasn't that bad. It just took an extra half an hour or something like that to make the hole a little larger. Access here is at an angle because I'm hitting right where the hammer is. There's a major cross piece underneath for the container, so a bit of a to-do there, but not a big deal. Just took extra time. Yeah, so once I did that, I'm using adhesive, construction adhesive. Basically, put that all over the flange, put it in, and then I screw it. I'm basically doing the sealant and the glue just to keep bugs and other junk out, the little cracks that happen when you do those kind of things. Here I'm back continuing the main drain underneath the master, right where I was working with the toilet and the shower area. So I attached those in there, and this is where the toilet is. So making a downspout for that. And making that work out. I know some plumbers actually do like a 45-degree angle all the way down this particular slope, but hopefully this will work just fine, and stuff rolls downhill. So anyway, a pretty simple solution there. So here I'm doing the main line, attaching it to the main pipe, and then in a second I'll be doing the pipe that goes from the sinks, the double sinks in the master bedroom. This is the drain for that, and you notice there's no P-trap there because they're in the walls. The sinks have them themselves.
Hey guys, we here at Blueberry Hill, so thanks for coming back to the channel. So today's work is basically doing the venting up in the attic. I'm going to cut holes through 2x, cut holes in the upper part of the container, which is in the attic, and then we're going to join several of them, 3 of them together for one main stack of the roof. Less holes in the roof, the better, because it's a brand new roof. So there. Anyway, I almost finished the wet pipe underneath in the main stack. I forgot to order an adapter for the standing tub. It's I don't want to say a coffee tub, but it's a standing tub by itself, and it has a center drain, and basically you put an extension on the drain part, and in the concrete it's a bigger flange set up, and you drop the pipe inside this collared by O-ring setup. I don't have that flange. So anyway, I was looking at that yesterday. I couldn't continue all the leftover stuff that I had to do underneath the master. I'll show you that later. It should be pretty simple. I already made the hole. You saw me do that on the video. I'm not sure it's the right size. I think it's going to have to be a little enlarged because that flange is pretty big. And anyway, I'm almost done with that. And then the 3-inch pipe is going to go to the back corner of the master. and then of course to the septic system later on. So we should be pretty close to being done with that. I have a couple of other vent tubes to put on that side of the house. And the unfun part's going to be putting holes in the game room wall to go into the attic. It's double stacked containers, so I'm going to have to punch through that. Not looking forward to that because I know there's a bit of steel there. Might have to hit the, I don't know how long the sawzall blade I'll need, but it's probably going to have to be a big one. So anyway, shouldn't be too bad. I got to cut through one chunk of concrete, second floor in the game room, then go to through the floor, the 1 inch plywood, and then hit the actual metal of the container underneath. That's not that hard, it's just access is not all that great. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, we'll get to that when we get to it. Then I'm going to start making holes. I'm going to switch to time lapse again, punching holes through everything, and then hopefully putting in the PVC in the attic for the most part today. Later. Yeah, I forgot to mention, so I'm using a 2.5 inch hole saw bit. That's perfect for the 2 inch diameter PVC that's doing the venting. The bad part is these blades, I have such bad luck with them. They don't last, for me anyway, at all. They're quite expensive. This one was 18 bucks. And whether it's Home Depot or Lowe's or Amazon, same basic price. However, the bad part is I've chewed up one of these for one hole. If I hit any part of the concrete, or this is supposed to be bimetal blade as well. If I do any metal work, they're throwaways. It's very weird. They do jam a lot because the teeth are pretty significant. If it was a little bit less than that, I haven't found one that's actually non-coarse to be a little smoother on metal, but I don't have to do too much of that, so I'm just waving that away. But anyway, this is my third bit. Not too happy about that. That's roughly 20 bucks a hit. So anyway, it does the job, but the fact that you have to throw them away when you're done is not too much fun. Anyway, later.
So once I got most of the main line kind of figured out, I started working on the venting from the sinks and other areas connected to the main line, so the venting system works. Here this is just a vent on the other side of the apartment wall. Here's the one in the shared bathroom. And in a second you'll see me cutting holes in the container itself so the PVC can go through it. Basically I went upstairs, just cut a square hole for a round object, no big deal. Just big enough so that the pipe can go in, and continued along my merry way. I think the challenge here was really just trying to figure out all the venting and where it would go. I tried to make as much straight lines as possible, pretty straightforward and easy. This is in the, you see trusses right there for the roofing system, so I had to get around all that. Here I'm just connecting the apartment to the shared bathroom, and in a sec you'll see me putting a hole in a brand new roof. So for the actual vent that goes up there. Here you see me drilling the hole for it, cut the hole, yay! And then I continue with doing the vent pipes through the ceiling and the attic. So here's the last pipe that goes into the shared bathroom. This is for the vent system, of course. That's right above the sink in the shared bathroom. And then it completes that side of the building. Then I move on to making more holes. This is in the utility room. I have to go through the floor of the game room, which was a little bit of fun there. I didn't know where the actual supports were, so the first hole I made, which is right about 3-4 inches away from the hole I'm working on, it hit one of the main support pieces on the upper container, so I had to move over and just do a little 22-degree jog. It's 22 or 45-degree jog for that vent pipe. This is just all strictly for vent. And this is a shared vent that supports the island as well as the utility room and part of the sink, etc., in the master. The 2-inch should be sufficient for any kind of venting concerns that there are. This hole was a pain in the butt. I had one 1/2-inch piece of rebar in the way. It took me 7 blades to get through it, and it took about an hour and a half. I didn't want to give up, but it ate a lot of blades.
Alright, all those blades plus that blade, not that blade, 1 piece of rebar, 1/2-inch rebar, and now we have a hole. Yay! See? All the way down. was a hard one.
So I've only got the standing tub flange in, the drain actually. It's a special type of drain that lets you attach the pipe to the tub and then basically shove it through this drain setup. The 5-inch hole, I have to make it a little bigger. It's right in the center of the tub, and then I glue the drain in there, and we should be good to go. Kind of nice to put all the dirt through the hole and not have to vacuum. Anyway, pretty straightforward. I then moved on to doing the last vent hole that goes through the actual roof. This is in the game room, right above the utility room, going straight up. Basically, this just went straight through the roof. I used a little metal drill bit right there. You see me poking a hole up there. Then I go up to the roof. I find a hole, and then I trim the tabs on the metal roof and make it all work. I didn't want to hit the rib, but it is what it is. You know, drill the hole. I made it work. I actually pry up the metal a little bit to have some kind of a guide for the water in case it gets in there. Put the pipe in, glued it down there before I did this, and now I'm gonna basically puke it up with the sealant, and then screw down the rubber boot that goes on there. And I think I put enough puke on there, and it should hold pretty well. Pretty easy stuff to do. You just got to take your time and make the details work. I don't like cutting holes in a roof, but you need the vents and other things here, so I try to make it look pretty. And then eventually I'm going to paint it. This is charcoal black, so I'll paint these charcoal black as well at a certain time. Here's a quick one. This is just the vent pipe that comes from the sinks to the pipe I just put into the roof. That connects in the ceiling in the utility room and goes up through the attic. So, and also connects the vent system down to the utility room for the washer. So, should be good to go on that. Here you see me doing the little 45s or whatever they were. I think they were 45s because I had to puke around the support.
Hi guys, we take care of Blueberry Hill. Thanks for coming back to the channel. So today's work, this is September 17th. We're going to start doing the roughing for the sinks for the bathrooms. I did all the wet pipe underneath, and then the vents up there. Finished those up. They're going through the roof already, so we're good there. I'm just going to connect everything there. The fun part's going to be the master bath, because I have two sinks. Got all the P-traps, got to figure out where they actually go. Obviously it'll span maybe 3-4 feet apart. Two rough ends there, and then they join in the middle for the actual wet pipe drain. The one thing I still have to do is do the drain for the washer. It shouldn't be too bad unless I hit rebar. Every time I hit rebar, you saw my other part of the video earlier where I went through, I think, 7 saw blades trying to eat through one stupid rebar. I have no idea why it's so hard to cut rebar with those things. They're all metal blades. Some are made for sawing I-beams and stuff. I guess rebar is not that. It's more of a more brittle product, so I don't know what the tensile qualities of that are, but it's different than like sheet metal or steel. But anyway, they eat saw blades, so hopefully I don't hit anything. If I do, I might just move the hole over a couple inches and miss rebar. I'm probably have two blades left without having to buy another 6-pack or something. Anyway, it's going to be fun. Once we do that, then we join the vent for the washer to the vent stack, and we'll be good there. And then the last bit will be the final part of the drain, the main 3-inch drain line that goes to the septic, and we're just going to hang that up back underneath the master bedroom and wait for the septic to be put in maybe in a couple months, and we'll be ready for that. So anyway, that's that part. Later on, we're going to start doing supply lines, hot and cold. We are going to switch from electric tankless hot water heaters to propane. I'll probably hire that job out so we can get the lines coming to the containers. We'll probably end up with a 500 or 750 gallon tank, propane tank up there on the right side of the house. And that'll feed the stove, the 2 tankless hot water heaters, and then we're going to have a barbecue area in the back with supply line there. So that should be pretty fun there. Anyway, let's get going with the sinks, and we'll talk at you later. Time lapse coming up. See ya.
So up till now, I basically just put the PVC through the vent system in the ceiling, and of course the piping through the floor. Now I'm going to put the T connections, sanitary T's, and then connect it to the venting, and that's the basically the plumbing rough-in. I do that for all bathrooms. It's pretty straightforward. Here I had to move over a little bit because there was some electrical stuff that I put in earlier that I didn't want to mess with or go around, so I just moved the pipe over a little bit. You can see a little Z in there, and it was good to go. So there you see a double sink kind of layout, and I'm putting the vent pipe in through that I connected earlier to the utility room. Here you see me doing the last hole for the actual piping. This is for the washer, and we'll pop that in there and be good to go. So here I'm connecting the washer to the actual. This was supposed to be just a vent, but I decided to attach the drain to this one, and that should work out just fine because that is a vent for the drain anyway. Here I'm putting the vent system to the sinks in the master and for the shower. So you'll see me connecting that. Then I'm done with this portion of the plumbing. So happy about that.
So here we go, real time, little recap of what I was doing. So here's the main pipe, main sewage line. So I did a little constructive venting. You can see this pipe right there. So you got the trap, you go down, and this vent pipe actually goes out to the sinks, which is vented to the attic. So it's a shared vent. It might look funky, but I don't know, it should work. And down there, oh man, I just whacked my head on the ceiling here. Ouch. Okay, so in an earlier video, time-lapse, you didn't see the P-trap over there. I forgot to put that in, so I put that in after the fact. That's from the washer. Definitely needs a P-trap. Instead of putting it in the wall for the drain, I put it right underneath. I don't think it makes any much difference. It's not a conventional house where they put everything through the walls and have a whole bunch of holes and 2x. So we just went straight out the bottom of the floor. This hole was very easy to do. A couple extra sawzalling, but aside from that, pretty straightforward. The pipe you see way back right there, that's the air line or vent line coming from the island, and that right there is just a vent tube going straight up to the attic and then through the roof. So everything's pretty much there. I don't have anything left to do for waistline plumbing with pipe. Next phase will be obviously doing the water supply lines. But before we do that, I'm going to actually do the tankless hot water heaters, and like I mentioned, they're going to be propane, and that's just to kind of make it more efficient. We were looking at the electric stuff, and it's very high amperage, and the guys at the plumbing place actually mentioned that if it's really cold outside and you want hot water, it doesn't do very many gallons per minute, and we were hoping it would do at least 4 or 5 kind of majority of the time. But I guess when it's cold, the range between the cold and what you want is hot water is not there. They're just going to do the gas, propane. Makes sense. I think it'll be more efficient, and to be honest, we don't really use a significant amount of hot water, so excuse me, so it'll be what it is. But anyway, it's a little more expensive because we have to plumb the gas line. It still needs power. We're going to yank the number 8 wire out of that circuit, put in a regular 120 volt 20 amp, but you don't need 20 amp for that. But anyway, so we're going to put in, so we're going to finish that up, and then we're going to go through the rough-in electrical stage. I haven't done that yet because I'm still pending a couple of things on the books. And after that, we'll get the gas guys out, put the propane tank somewhere over here. It's a fine mess right now. This is my kind of storage area for all the junk out here. You see all the wood and metal, etc. And anyway, it'll go somewhere along this area, maybe a little further away, just to make it safe. But and then we'll plumb the lines in the ground. We'll have the 2 tankless hot water heaters, and then somewhere in this area we're going to run a line for the barbecue setup. I think it'll be around here somewhere in this corner of the patio, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, that's about it for now. I'm signing off. I'm going to have a cold beer, and this is Friday, time to relax and have some fun. Anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.